Hello, this is Pooja here, and today I shall be presenting to you a topic on DNA packaging. So, we all know that we humans, each one of us look different, and these differences basically come from the DNA, the genetic material that we inherit. It is the differences in these species is because of the differences in the DNA sequences, and therefore each one of us is different. It is the DNA that codes for the genetic information which will determine the structure, the function and the development of an organism. So when we talk about the DNA, maybe the detailed structure of DNA or the various experiments that led to its discovery, there are many topics, but today I shall be focusing specifically on the DNA packaging. So, we all know that the DNA is situated inside the nucleus, and this is called as the chromatin. Chromatin because the DNA is complexed with the proteins, and therefore the chromatin, that is the DNA plus the proteins together form the chromatin. Now, the prokaryotic cell size, if I tell you all, it is around 2 to 10 micrometers, whereas that of eukaryotic cell size is 10 to 100 micrometers. And this, I am telling you all the size, this is the size of the cell. So imagine that the nucleus size is even more smaller than that of the cell as a whole. And this DNA is situated inside the nucleus. Now, if I tell you all the length of when, for example, mammalian DNA, it is around 2.2 meters. So you can imagine this lengthy DNA molecule is situated in that small tiny nucleus. How does this happen? Yes, this happens because of the repetitive condensation or compaction with different proteins. So the DNA compaction in prokaryotes. Now in prokaryotes, for example, the bacteria or the viruses, they do not have any nucleus as such. So in them, the nucleus is absent, right? The membrane bound nucleus is absent, and therefore the DNA is just randomly dispersed in the form of loops in the cytoplasm itself. Okay, and this region may be called as the nucleoid in case of the prokaryotes. Now in prokaryotes, the condensed state of this DNA is achieved by binding with different proteins. Now for example, if we take the bacteria's, for example, this is the double-stranded DNA of some bacteria, and say suppose it is around 350 micrometers. So this is condensed with specialized proteins like H1 and HU to form a looped structure, and this will give around a 10-fold compaction. Okay, further compaction will be formed when a supercoiled structure of this will be formed. So this will be a supercoiled structure and it will give a 1000-fold compaction. Okay, and this supercoiled structure of the DNA in prokaryotes is specially maintained or regulated by specialized enzymes like topoisomerase. For example, the gyrases. They maintain these supercoiled structures. So the organization of the DNA inside a eukaryotic cell is much more complex than that of prokaryotes. Okay, so basically two types of proteins are involved, that is the histone proteins and the non-histone proteins. Now the histone proteins are positively charged proteins. Now why positively charged? Now we know that the DNA, the backbone of the DNA is made up of sugar phosphate, right? It is made up of sugar phosphate backbone. The DNA backbone is sugar phosphate backbone. And this phosphate group gives a net negative charge to the DNA molecule. And therefore, this negatively charged DNA can be wrapped around this positively charged histone protein. Now, the histone is positively charged, or any protein for that matter is positively charged or negatively charged, that depends upon the amino acid side chains. Now in case of histone, the amino acids are arginine and lysine. Arginine and lysine, which give a net positive charge to that histone molecule. So the histones are organized into a structure of 8 molecules and therefore called as octamer. That is H3H3, H4H4, H2A and H2B. Okay, this is called as the core histone molecule. There is another histone molecule, that is H1, which is located outside in the linker DNA region. The role of H1 is to connect 2 nucleosomes. So what happens is, this negatively charged strand of DNA is wrapped around like this, around this positively charged histone. And this together, the amount of DNA, this would be around 200 base pairs of DNA, is wrapped around, negatively charged DNA is wrapped around this positively charged histone to form a structure called the nucleosome, which we can call as the structural unit of any chromatin. So this is that repetitive structure of nucleosome which will condense later to form the chromatin into chromatin fibers and then finally the chromosomes. So here I have given the chart on the organization of the DNA in a eukaryote. So normally this is the normal double-stranded DNA molecule, okay, which is the 2 nanometer fiber, okay. Furthermore, the DNA will be wrapped around this histone. These are the histone proteins, okay, and these are called the linker DNA. So with the help of linker DNA, the DNA will be compacted and wrapped around the histone proteins and will form the 10 nanometer fiber. Now this model is also called as the beads on string. That is, in the electron microscope, when viewed, the DNA will be seen as beads on a string and therefore it is called as beads on a string. Then comes the role of the linker DNA, that is the H1. Now the H1 histone protein will be attached to these linker DNA molecules and will result into much more compaction, okay, will lead to much more compaction with the help of the H1 histone protein, okay, and it will form a zigzag like that, and therefore this model is the 30 nanometer fiber model is called as the zigzag model, also called as the solenoid model. Okay, now the compaction of the DNA beyond 30 nanometers is not much studied, but out of the data that is available, they say that the non-histone proteins, okay, also called as, for example, the scaffold proteins, scaffold binding proteins, they play an important role in the compaction of the DNA. So the DNA strands, that is this zigzag, further the zigzag model, there will be much more compaction and this will then be attached to non-histone proteins or scaffold binding regions. Now on the DNA there will be certain regions called as SARs, that is scaffold attachment regions, which will bind to these scaffold proteins or the non-histone proteins and will compact the DNA further. For example, 30 nanometer will lead to compaction. Then further compaction will form a 700 nanometer structure and this will further finally compact into a 1400 nanometer structure, and that is nothing but the regular metaphase chromosome that we study. So this is all about the DNA that is organized in that very tiny nucleus, and now you all got the answer why that 2.2 meters of lengthy DNA is organized in that very tiny nucleus. Thank you.